Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington. I'm an original shark from the hit television show Shark Tank, and I'm with Gary Hibbs. And Gary, it's awesome to have you today.
Good to be with you, Kevin.
You've got such an awesome background, and
Thanks, man.
I want for the folks out there to hear right from you who you are and kind of about yourself and what do you do?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I've been had a career for 30 plus years helping older adults, and now I am one. But I've been
we're in the same club.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. We're about the same age, and helping older adults really be everything they can be. You know, you never stop developing, you never stop growing as a person, no matter how old you are, or where you've been. So I've done that, and then I started a company called Unleashed to Lead.
Okay.
And in Unleash to Lead, I show people how to unleash their gifts so that they can fully live and lead.
It's awesome. And look, we've been around a few years, and as we're getting to those older years, we can use a little bit of advice because the world's changing so fast. The kids are pretty quick with everything, but sometimes they're leaving us behind. So that's great that you focus in that direction. Thanks, and I can tell you got a lot of passion about what you're doing. Why so passionate?
I do. You know, I mean, the thing at the end of life, and I've seen it working with older adults, one of the saddest things to see is people who had potential but didn't use it. You know, I think of the writer Henry James. He said, it's time to start living the life you've imagined.
Right.
You know, and don't wait. Leave it all on the field. You know, average is a nasty word. Who wants to be average? Be all that you can be, you know? So that's what I try to do, because for years I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I stayed on this side of comfort. And that's not good.
I hear from people that say, you know, I had this great idea a couple of years ago and someone else went and did it.
Right.
And I'm like, I hope you're not bragging that you came up with the idea, but somebody else made all the money.
Right.
Like you should have done it, right? You have to act now, right? So timing is everything. And that's what, you know, I think I can tell you are helping people mold themselves a little bit differently because you have a kind of a different approach from others in the business, right?
Yeah, I do. You know, I coach with a guy named John Maxwell, who I'm sure you've heard of, and John's an amazing guy, you know, and he is, you know, still writing and will continue to do that as long as he can.
One of the greatest thought leaders of our time.
Amazing, just amazing. So, you know, I don't want to have that regret that I talked about earlier, you know, that you have to go through fear.
Right.
But I have a different relationship with fear and pain than I used to.
Okay.
You know, because I know on the other side of fear and pain, if I go through it, and it takes courage to do that, but you got to act, as you said. Intention is useless.
Yeah.
Just intention by itself. So you got to have to take that intention, have people come alongside you. And as Jim Rohn said, who you surround yourself with makes all the difference in the world.
It does, yeah.
So what I try to do is come alongside people and say, hey, you have these gifts. Unleash those gifts.
Unleash them. Yeah, that's awesome. And so sometimes it takes somebody like yourself. People are sitting with all the potential and the possibilities, but they don't know how to unleash it. And you're sort of an unleashing expert.
I'm an unleasher, I mean, there was a time in my life, Kevin, where my life crashed. It just crashed because I was not leading myself well. The hardest person to lead looks at me in the mirror every day.
Hey,
you know?
Well, that brings me to my next question. People face challenges every day, right? And how do you help your clients overcome these challenges?
Yeah, I think one of the things is that voice inside your head. There's like this committee that says, you'll never get over that. You'll never get past that. You'll never do this, never do that. I help them hear a different voice. No, you have potential.
Right.
God's given you gifts and talents that when you use it, I want to paint a picture of a desired future and help them get there.
And you help people focus on connecting with with that kind of strategy.
I love the word focus.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, you know, I mean, over the years, you've worked with lots of folks, and you know, without naming any names, I'd love to hear about somebody that had some kind of a transitional benefit from working with you. In other words, let's call it transformational. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and then there are a lot of stories. I think one I'm most proud of happened just recently. Somebody that came into the company I was working with, and they had a ton of potential and was hearing the negative voices, started to hear the positive voices, and became the leader of the year.
Oh, wow.
In their company that has over 15,000 employees.
Yes.
And that brought me, of course, personal satisfaction. But more than that I was able to lead someone, help them come along. They have to do the work, but help them come along to start to be not just successful, but significant.
There you go.
And they're replicating that.
Yeah. And so, you know, when I think about the challenges you faced, the first step for you was overcoming them yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you said, now I've done this, I can show
That's right.
others. And so have you had any like really very difficult situations you've dealt with where you had a hard time overcoming somebody's reluctance to take your,
no doubt
your word?
about it. No
right?
doubt about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I was a knucklehead for a long time in terms of just not doing what I needed to do.
Right.
So I think the patience, and I think that word long suffering comes in. It's difficult sometimes as a coach because you want to say, just do this. And sometimes it gets there. But, you know, I think as a coach, it can be difficult because you cannot do it. I think it may have been Jim Rohn again. He said, you can't do somebody else's push-ups.
Right.
They have to do their own.
Yeah.
So in coaching, it can be difficult. But once that aha comes and somebody takes that first step, these baby steps, Atomic Habits.
Yeah,
that
there
book
you
is
go.
a great book.
Sure, yeah.
And they start on a new road.
And you mentioned something very powerful, surrounding yourself with the right people.
Right.
And this is something that you also probably teach
Yeah.
your folks. And I've had a saying that your net worth is equal to your network of people that you hang out with, right?
Yeah.
And so on that note, I said, I used to play golf with a group every weekend, and one guy just wasn't up to snuff. And one of the guys says, you're out. I'm teasing a little bit, but you know, I will say this, as I have gotten into playing more golf, I've gotten into some awesome foursomes that have connected me with some even more powerful people than I ever even imagined I could meet on the golf course. So you teach these kinds of things, but also how to do it on a daily basis in your everyday life.
Yeah.
Right.
And Kevin, I love it. And I've read some of your work, of course, but the relationship to failure. Failure is a friend.
Yeah.
Failure teaches us.
Sure.
I mean,
Absolutely.
all the companies you have, how many failed? And I've read about that.
Yeah.
And you put it out there and say, that's where I learned. And then I hit it.
Yeah.
You know?
So let's talk about some parting thoughts. We've had a great session here today. And there's folks out there that are approaching our ages or even maybe with us or beyond that are saying, you know what, I'd like to find out more about how I can get involved, maybe some ways that you could work with folks. So tell us all about that.
Well, you know, and John Maxwell has taught me, you know, leaders know the way and they show the way.
Right.
So to show the way, I can help come alongside and help somebody see the way, you know, so where you see a process, you see an end goal that pulls you, a vision in mind, and help define the process that you can trust to stay in the process, and before you know it, the results come.
Sort of like a wingman, right?
Yeah. That's a great analogy.
There you are. So, I mean, you've been now, how many years?
Over 30 years in my work.
30 years doing what you do, working with dozens and hundreds of successful situations, and that's very awesome. And there's a thing that I like to mention, and we used that word before, magical transformation. People that go through your programs, work with you, have a transformation. Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So any last words to ask to tell the folks out there, rather, if they're thinking about maybe working with you, for you to just give them the last bit of information on why they should work with you.
Thanks, Kevin. I was in the land of good intentions for a long time, and it's never too late to start acting, as Kevin and I were talking about, acting so that you can have a better future. So if you're stuck in fear and all of that, call me, talk with me, and we'll see what we can do to get you unstuck and start to live the life you've imagined.
Awesome. Hey, Gary, it was great having you.
Thanks, Kevin.
And I'm sure the folks out there are excited about an opportunity with you. And I just want to say that Gary Hibbs, for 30 years, has been in this business, and he's there to help you take your life and or your challenges to the next level. So thanks for being with us. It's Kevin Harrington, the original Shark, signing off. Thank you.